Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is a curriculum-based measurement? A curriculum-based measurement is any form of assessment that focuses on the student's ability to perform any work of the school curriculum. This may happen when a teacher will set a minimum standard for performance and provides, for example, if a child is struggling in reading, the teacher may ask the child to read aloud for 1 minute. There are some instances when a counselor may need to refer a client to another counselor. Which of the following is not an appropriate reason for referral? A. The counselor's concerns are beyond the scope of a counselor's practice. B. A counselor fails to connect with a client because of personal differences. C. A client's concern is better managed by a medical specialist. D. The counselor and the client have different political problems. The answer is D. The counselor and the client have different political opinions is not an appropriate reason for a referral. The counselor should focus on the client and their needs, and there should be no countertransference because of different political opinions. When the client's concerns are out of the scope of a counselor's practice, that is a good reason for a referral so that the client can get appropriate help with another clinician who is able to take care of that concern specifically. In addition, when a counselor fails to connect with the client because of personal differences, that is also not an appropriate reason for a referral. The counselor and the client can work through the personal differences, but be aware that countertransference could still take place. And then a client's concern is better managed by a medical specialist is also beyond the scope of a counselor's practice and is an appropriate reason for referral. But the best answer is the counselor and the client have different political opinions is not an appropriate reason for a referral. Review the ACA Code of Ethics and talk to others about when it is appropriate for a referral. What is mediation in counseling? Mediation in counseling is a structured process when a neutral third party helps resolve conflicts between individuals, like couples counseling, for example. Examples of mediation in counseling would be attention control, another therapy, or educational control. I would recommend doing some research on mediation in counseling to better your understanding of how to better help your clients when facing conflict. In a group, task roles: A. Help solve problems. B. Aid in terms of goal setting and keep the group focused. C. Are seen as positive. D. All of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. In a group, task roles help solve problems, aid in terms of goal setting and keeping the group focused, and are seen as positive. There are times where the entire group can be classified as a task group and focuses on accomplishing work goals. What are positron emission tomography, aka PET scans? PET scans involve injecting individuals with a radioactive glucose tracker that is taken up by active brain cells, and by analyzing images of the brain where they have been injected with the radioactive glucose, doctors can gauge regional blood flow, glucose metabolism, and oxygen compulsion. These all are correlated with the brain's level of activity. PET scans are often used by clinicians to access cerebral damage that has been done by several different major diseases and diagnoses, such as Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, neurocognitive disorders, and more. I would recommend looking more into PET scans. I have very little information to provide. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.